So if you can vacation to anywhere in the world, or if you could just like go visit anywhere in the world, what would it be? Anywhere.
Do you have a place in mind?
Oh yeah, I have a couple.
Okay, I'll let you go first while I formulate.
Okay, so I've always wanted to go to Italy ever since I played Assassin's Creed 2.
Okay, different reason. Italy, yes.
In the Assassin's Creed like games, it's always like so exploratory as far as like the places you go, and you learn a lot about those places.
You can like climb I know in like Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, you could like climb the Roman Colosseum and stuff.
Yeah, you climb all over the Colosseum.
Yeah.
So like whenever you do that kind of stuff, when you visit that places, it pops up with like information and stuff. So like you learn like as you play, and you just learn a bunch about the place. So like I've always wanted to go to Italy and see all those places that I played in Assassin's Creed.
I imagine you in like middle school and like you're like learning about world history, and you just finally get to the part about like Roman.
I'm like, thank history. You, I know this.
And, like the teacher's asking questions, and you're just like, the Colosseum was built in da 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 by da 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 da, and you're just like listed
like this person assassinated this person on this. It's like I don't think that happened. Like no, it happened in the game. I saw it.
She's like, I was just asking what their national delicacy is, but thank you for that fact.
Calamari. I don't know.
Where else you thinking?
I've also gotten very obsessed with like Japan and like Japanese culture.
Yes.
Ever since I started playing Ghost of Tsushima, I want to go visit like all that stuff.
That is one of the places that I absolutely want to visit is Japan, and just like tour all around there.
I don't really care about like Tokyo. Like I don't really care much about like going to the city.
I care about it.
I'm more of like I want to see like shrines and stuff.
I want to visit all of it.
They have like a Studio Ghibli like museum there that I want to go see.
Just do what the Wolverine did and explore it all.
Oh yeah,
just go all over.
Well, the Wolverine was really sad over there. Remember when he walked by a bear in the Wolverine?
That was in America though. That was in like Alaska or something. That wasn't in Japan.
There are bears just walking around. I'm pretty sure Japan has bears. They were in Ghost of Tsushima. I got killed by many of them.
Yeah, panda bears.
So what's your go-to? Are you thinking Japan? Is that like the go-to? Any other places?
Japan. I've already visited England, and it's very, very cool. I would definitely go back there. It's super cool. I visited France. I've been over by the Eiffel Tower.
What is Europe like? Is it just weird? Is it different? Like
it's different. It's very different.
Because think about it, like here in the U.S., like everything that's here, it's only like a couple hundred years old. But like everything in Europe is like 1,000 years old.
I still don't.
I don't think if that math is right.
But I don't understand like. You know, they drive on the left side of the road. You know, like they drive on the opposite side.
Yeah.
And like, I went over there like in 2014. Yeah, 2014, the summer of 2014, for like a week, and I still like in my mind like I always try to wrap my head around like what are they like? How do they like turn into places like? I feel
it's the
like
same. It's just opposite.
Well, yeah, I know, but like.
So like a left hand, if you're on the far left hand side and you're making like a left hand turn to get onto something, like that's like you on the far right side to making like a little right hand turn. Like whenever you like you can like turn right on a red light, it's like that. But you can turn left on a red light.
It's just so weird to like try to like think.
Yeah.
Like
is the US the only place where we drive on the right side of the road?
I think so. The US does a lot of dumb stuff. Man. The US does a lot of dumb stuff.
They just want to be different for no reason.
I mean, we don't have universal health care, which a lot of these other, I'm pretty sure the entire rest of the world has like
the entire developed world, yeah.
We still use like inches and stuff, and like everywhere else uses like
metric, yeah.
Yeah, the metric system, and like I'm just like, why are we so like we could just on the same?
Because we're America. We're better than them, Dylan.
We're not. We're worse. Okay. But boy, I'm trying to think about where else. It's like I said, it's definitely different over there though. I remember because this was like a school trip, and this like they told us like make sure you like have visual on your like valuables at all times. And so I had a backpack with me, and I had it like slung over my side, and like all the like zippers were like in my eyesight, so like I didn't get anything stolen. But
yeah, this fanny pack?
No, it was just a backpack. But this one girl, she got her it was her mom's phone. She took her mom's phone on the trip with her because I guess she didn't have her own. It got stolen in France.
Nice.
And yeah,
them French people, man.
Well, they warned us that like pickpockets are very like common over there, which I mean, like, yeah, they're kind of like.
See, I told you, dude. Assassin's Creed is real. That's what you do in Assassin's Creed. You just loot
they're
people.
They're common over here, but like I think they're more common over like So that was something to like. Oh, okay, gotta pay attention to this, but for the most part, it was enjoyable. I definitely liked France, definitely liked England. But I think if we're talking like go-tos for like vacationing, like any place I want to visit, I think it's either going to be like Japan or maybe Greece. I don't know. I was thinking like Greece for some reason. That feels like it'd be fun.
Yeah, I haven't played Assassin's Creed Odyssey, so I can't tell you too much about Greece. I've played the beginning. I know there's like a Parthenon or something like that. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I agree. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
It'd be fun to like go and learn about like Greek culture and stuff like that, the Greek gods, and visit the Parthenon and Pantheon and all that, Pantheons and stuff.
all the eons.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm Matt.
I'm Dylan.
And this is On a Tuesday? This week we review Disney Pixar's Luca, as well as give our top 10 Pixar movies. Yeah, Dylan's been playing, these past 2 weeks, he's been like doing a lot of homework for our main topics.
I have been.
He hasn't slept in 48 hours.
I've been watching so many movies, but as far as like
in between that
shows, oh boy, let's see. There's this show that came out on Disney Channel. It's called The Owl House. Okay. The
Owl House.
Mm-hmm. And I was curious about it one day. It was on Disney Plus. This was like a little bit ago, like last year, and I watched it, and I like. It's really interesting. Like it's a cartoon, but like I don't know. It doesn't feel quite.
It's like Mickey Mouse House, but it's owls.
No, not at all. It doesn't feel like it's kid. It's kind of like in between. Like it's like
PG-13. It's like Harry Potter.
Something like it's something like that. So like this girl, she's obsessed with like she's in high school and she's like obsessed with like witches and like
Harry Potter.
Like stuff like that. But it's like it's more like brutal stuff like
actual, so like witchcraft like stuff we saw in The Conjuring 3.
Yes, that kind of stuff. Well, she's not like practicing dark magic, but she's reading like young adult novels about like witches and stuff, and she finds it interesting, and like she gets a little too her parents or her mom and like the teachers and all that, they think she's a little too obsessed, so they send her to camp. And like while she's at camp, she like somehow gets teleported into this magical realm.
Harry Potter.
She spends the time like training under this witch called Ada the Owl Lady, and it's really interesting, right? Anyway, season 2 just came out like last week, and so I've been watching that, keeping up with that, and it's pretty fun to watch.
I just realized I asked you what you've been watching. I literally don't think I've watched much this week, other than like I watched Attack on Titan a lot.
Oh boy,
yeah, we've both been watching it a lot.
I went through that in a week.
Yeah, Dylan is fully caught up.
I'm fully caught up. 4 seasons. It's like 77 episodes.
Yeah, I probably have like 10 episodes left, and then I should be caught up.
You left off on episode what, 8?
Actually, Yeah, I should have like 10 episodes. How many episodes are there so far?
There's 16.
Yeah, I think I'm like halfway.
Yeah. Because you left off with, spoiler alert, Sasha getting killed.
Yeah.
Boy, that was rough.
So sad.
I love this show, but I also hate it because I love this show, but I also
she's the potato girl.
I love this show, but I also hate it because it's like anytime you grow attached to a character.
This was like the first like main character that I feel like main like one from like the very beginning.
Well, from the very beginning. Well, she came in like 3 episodes in.
Yeah.
But close.
I thought for sure that Armin was dead. I thought for sure he was dead whenever he got transformed.
Boy, howdy. He is the colossal titan. Now that
colossal titan, man.
Monster.
That thing's nuts. It just like creates a nuclear explosion the second that he just like appears.
He's like, well, I know Aaron's supposed to be like the most powerful because he's the founding titan, but I'm pretty sure that Armin is the second most powerful. Like he could literally just pick up. Yeah,
you could just decimate it.
Yeet him. Yeah, like he could just pick him up and yeet him into the freaking solar system. Like he can yeet him into the sun. He could solve all their problems.
I think the problem is though that he's like really slow. I think that's the only like.
I think so,
but then he just does the steam thing. But then we saw how that's probably not a good idea to do that.
Just do a 1-2 combo and have Aaron like toss him up, and then Armin just grabs him and
throws him at people.
Somebody
the attack titan.
Somebody gotta get the power of the beast titan and just start yeeting them into the sun. Okay.
Just combine them all.
He got.
Don't spoil it for me yet, but like what I want to see is Aaron like eat all the other titans and become like the avatar of all the titans, where he just has like all their powers.
Well, he's eaten one titan.
So he has the founding titan, he has the attack titan, and he has the Warhammer titan.
Yeah, the founding, attack. So yeah, he's got like 3 of the
9. Yeah. So I want to see him eat like all of them. He doesn't have to eat Armin. That's okay. That's your buddy. You don't need to eat.
He's going for it, man.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. This season is pretty like, it's not like overly complicated to understand, but like it's also a little bit confusing because they're doing like.
I think every season has very like time jumped. Like every time at the beginning of every season, I'm like,
it's only been a couple months though. This time it was like 4 years.
Yeah,
and like, so you haven't gotten to that point yet, but they will like explain like what happened.
Yeah, I've just started parts where like they're like going through each year of like what was going on, kind of. They cut in between like present day and then like what happened like 3 years ago, and then they'll like go immediately right back to present day, and like so it's a little bit confusing at times, because I'm like, is this going on 3 years ago or is this present day? Yeah, no, at the beginning of season 4 I wasn't sure like if whenever they went and attacked that other nation and there was like that stronghold that they had, I wasn't sure if that was before like they had come to the island or after, because I didn't know that they went to the island as kids, because I wasn't like the whole timeline was like so like I was so thrown off at the beginning.
It's still a little murky for me. Like I think I understand it, but like they did a real weird where they're like present day and then it's like 3 years ago and then like you're in the 3 years ago storyline and then all of a sudden they switch back to like,
they don't
present
say
day, without really telling you, and then you're like, hold up, like Sasha's alive again, and you're like, well, she didn't die.
Well, that should be the indicator that it's not.
But that's how you have to. Yeah, you have to gauge it, because it's like, oh, this person has longer hair, here. So
yeah, I think whenever the final parts of the season come out, we'll have to do like an episode on here where we'll just talk like Attack on Titan, so that we can get it all out to each other of just like how much we like the show, because it's a really cool show.
I'm gonna be so sad when the show ends, because I spent a week binging it and I'm already attached to all these characters. I was a wreck when Sasha died. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Oh, they met you a week ago and I'm already sad. Poor potato girl.
You sent me a text. You're like, what part did you leave off on? And I was like, episode 6.
Yeah, and I was like, bro.
You're like, bro, and I'm like, was some crazy stuff happen? And then all of a sudden I start watching it. I'm like,
he's like, oh, this is what he's talking about.
I was like, that's what it was. But,
sad face. Another thing we've been watching is Bad Batch.
The Bad Batch. Mm-hmm.
Bad Batch was kind of sick this episode. Finally got Crosshair going after him. The whole thing with like them being in the ion engine for the cruiser, that was so cool.
It was so cool. And then they
turned on.
They turned it on and they
burned Crosshair's face.
They pulled a Darth Vader on him. Yeah,
he
burned him to a crisp.
He got crispy.
He got crispy. He definitely did. I thought it was funny whenever they cut to him and he's just like all bandaged.
Oh yeah, he looked like Darth Vader.
I was like, oh boy. And then he's like, we must retreat to whatever. And I was like, yeah, because you crispy boy. They got you.
Yeah, this was a cool episode.
And then Cad Bane.
Yeah, Cad Bane shows up at the end and steals Omega. What the heck?
That's the part where I was like,
Dave Filoni, man.
That's the part where I texted you. I was like, have you watched Bad Batch yet?
I figured.
You're like, no. And I was like, oh, boy.
Dude, I love Cad Bane. Cad Bane's awesome.
Cad Bane is cool. I love the little, like, showdown between him and Hunter.
Oh, yeah. They just have, like, a little, like, Western standoff.
I think Cad Bane just, like...
Yeah, he bopped him.
Boy, that was good.
I'm always, like, unsure of how blasters work in the Star Wars universe. Like, what kills people and what just, like, hurts people from, like, their armor. Yeah, because everybody wears armor, but, like...
The armor fluctuates depending on like where it's from and stuff. So
I just don't understand.
I'm pretty sure Cad Bane thought he murked Hunter right there. So
yeah, but Cad Bane, man, I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see him. I hope he like keeps playing. I hope he plays like a big part going forward because I love Cad Bane. He's so much cool.
Why haven't we been given a Cad Bane spinoff? Huh?
I don't know. I think they've like been kind of hesitant to do like a bounty hunter thing, which I don't know why they are. I mean, now they're doing Book of Boba. What if Cad Bane's in Book of Boba?
I was just about to bring that up. I was like, because I think Book of Boba I saw like last week is going to focus on like his time after episode 5, which I'm like,
episode 5?
That was my reaction. I was like, after episode 5 is kind of weird. Why not?
So while he's chilling at Jabba's palace. I bet it'll start there and then it'll like go through everything up until Mandalorian.
It'll probably go through like, we'll get bits and pieces, Each episode will probably focus on a different time, but...
But yeah, Bad Batch was sick this week. Another thing we watched was Loki, episode 2.
I'm getting proven right. They are messing with the multiverse.
Yeah.
All the different,
Oh yeah, she set off a time bomb.
She set off a time bomb and set all those like reset charges to different points in the timeline. And so like there's one on Sakaar, there's one on Vormir, there's one like all over the place.
Dude,
and
I'm so hyped for next episode just to see like how messed up everything is.
I am so excited. I'm so excited to see the dynamic between Lady Loki and Loki. So like I don't know. I've been seeing
do we know the actress for Lady Loki? Like I don't have we seen her in anything before?
She looked familiar.
I didn't think she looked familiar at all. That's why I felt
like she looked familiar, but I don't know. Some people just have those faces that look familiar.
Yeah.
But
blonde white lady.
I have been seeing stuff pop up that I've been finding interesting. So like I don't know how true it is, but like I saw something pop up the other day, and I think it said that this Loki's name is Sylvie Laufey's daughter. So I'm not entirely sure if it's like Loki and from a different like timeline, or if this is like Loki's daughter.
Laufey's daughter. So Laufey is the frost giant. So that means that it's like she's basically Loki. Because Loki is Laufey's son.
Yeah, but Loki, this isn't the same Loki that actually started to go by Odin's son. This is still Loki after finding out that he was...
Yeah, but that would make her Loki's son, not Laufey's son anymore. Or Loki daughter.
I mean, that's true.
Because Laufey's son is his last name.
I need answers, okay? I need them. It's crazy to me that, like, episode 3 is coming out this week, and then there's just 3 episodes.
Tomorrow.
Like, they go...
Wait, what?
It's only 6 episodes. It's like Falcon and Winter Soldier. It's crazy, right? It's crazy.
Falcon and Winter Soldier was 6 episodes?
Yeah, it's
crazy. How long was WandaVision?
That was 9 episodes.
I was going to say, that was way longer.
But they were like, it started off with like 30-minute episodes, and then it started getting like...
Yeah, these Loki episodes have been long. That's one thing I was going to say was this episode it felt long. Like, it felt like there was a lot of time where people were just kind of talking, but like, it was all like really entertaining. And I think Tom Hiddleston he's just so great as Loki. And he's just like so...
Not just like, Tom Hiddleston, but like Owen
Wilson's
as
great
Mobius.
in this, man.
Like, their dynamic is fantastic.
Yeah.
I love that he was just like, they were having a whole conversation about just jet skis.
No.
But...
that's going to come into play later with something.
Okay, so I've been seeing some interesting theories pop up. One of them was I saw on TikTok, and it was there's this theory apparently going around. Do you remember in Ant-Man and the Wasp when they were in the quantum realm and there was like that little city in the background?
No,
you don't remember?
No.
So it was when Hank went into rescue.
I'm not going to remember this. I've only seen Ant-Man and the Wasp once, and I don't think I looked very hard at the quantum.
You should go back and rewatch it. There was a city in the background. Okay, very clear. It's a city structure. So one theory is that structure is actually the TVA, because not only did Janet say that time works differently here, Scott also said it whenever he came out in Endgame, that time worked differently in the quantum realm. And I'm pretty sure Mobius has told Loki time works differently here. So a lot of people are apparently speculating that city that was in the quantum realm is actually the TVA.
That makes sense.
The headquarters. And I mean, it especially makes sense whenever you think about how in the upcoming Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania movie, King the Conqueror is going to be in that movie. He is a time traveler, and he looks pretty similar to the Timekeepers, like the...
Oh, King, yeah. Yeah, actually, that makes a lot of sense, yeah. King would be one of them.
Yeah, so a lot of apparently this is a very popular theory going around that that city in the quantum realm is the TVA.
I kind of think that Owen Wilson's boss, what's her name? She's played by Gugu.
I don't know how to say her name.
It's Ahmed Ra or something like that.
Mabata or something like that.
Well, I feel like she's one of the Timekeepers for some reason.
So, fun fact, she is the wife of King the Conqueror, apparently. From what I read, I think that's what it was. But there's also another theory that I saw this week, that the people who are working at the TVA are actually variants themselves that were plucked from the timeline that they messed up, and they had their like minds wiped, and they were tossed in the TVA and like forced to like work there with their minds erased. And maybe that's why like we see like some of the characters have like connections, like Agent Mobius, Owen Wilson's character, is like obsessed with like jet skis. So like in his life, when he was a variant, he was like something to do with jet skis. I don't know. It's just a theory I saw, but I'm really liking these theories that I'm seeing. They seem pretty.
Yeah, I like. I think I like the King the Conqueror stuff. I think every time that people theorize with like crazy stuff like that, it never comes true. It's always like, oh no, it is kind of usually like what it is for the most part. Yeah. You usually don't have to dig like too deep to be like, oh, because like even if they reveal it's King the Conqueror, like most people would be like, I don't know what that is. But I think it's a cool. I think that's a cool idea. Like that makes a lot of sense.
Fun. And like it's another way to like tie it all together and like go into it in like the future. But
yeah, I'm just excited for the whole time bomb that she just set off.
Dude, it's I just can't wait for like Loki and Agent Mobius to like get back together. I know he's feeling betrayed that Loki left, but I think it's part of the plan. Loki's gonna come back and he's gonna be like, I figured out what she's planning to do, and he's gonna have to be like,
I don't think that Loki will I think he'll turn on the TVA, but not. I don't think he's gonna yet. Like be not with Lady Loki. Like I don't think like they're gonna be a team or anything like that.
Yeah,
he's always in it for himself.
There was so much good, just like talking content.
Good stuff.
Like when Loki was talking with Mobius and he was like, nobody who says they're good is ever truly good, and nobody who says they're bad is ever truly all bad. I was like,
oh yeah, they were basically like I was watching or I heard a podcast where they were saying like, yeah, the show is basically like a podcast where these guys are just like saying all these like theoretical and hypothetical things just to like talk about them and air them out. One thing I loved in this episode was them going to the different like apocalypses. I thought that was really cool. When he goes to Pompeii,
when they were geeking out about the volcano erupting and they were all excited about it, because these people are about
he was like,
die.
You're all gonna die. That was great,
man. Like I said, there's so much good content. The part where they go into first, I don't know if you like, I paused it because I wanted to see like what the like cataclysmic event was, so that in Alabama in 2050, I think it was Alabama, right?
Oh, 2050, yeah, they said it was like some kind of giant hurricane basically.
It was a category 8 hurricane.
Yeah,
a category 8 hurricane, because I was like they like showed the little snippet of paper that said what it was, but like it was too
watching 2050. Yeah,
I went back and I paused it, and like sure enough it was like category 8. I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, what happens in between now and 2050 where they have to
climate change? What are you talking about?
That's true. I don't know what
they're just predicting the future.
God, but yeah, and then I've been seeing like a lot of clever TikToks, and like so somebody did a TikTok where they're like, on my way to warn Alabama about the 2050 hurricane or whatever, and they like close their front door and then they turn around and then it's like the TV agent like, and
it's like oh man,
I was like oh man, but a lot of good stuff. I'm super excited for this. I'm liking this a lot more than like WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier right now. I think it's just because like the long reaching impacts.
Yeah, I think it's gonna have it's definitely gonna have a lot of impacts.
Well, that Kevin Feige has said it does, but like you're really starting to see it ramp up, and it's really cool.
I'll probably be impartial to one. Like I really liked WandaVision. I just really like the whole sitcom thing.
They're all good. They're all good.
But yeah, this is definitely like getting deep into Marvel mythology, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it, Dylan. Mm-hmm. You ready to go into our main topic?
You know what? I think I am.
All right. So this week, on Friday, Disney dropped Luca, their new Pixar movie, on Disney Plus. Did it come out in theaters at all? I assume it did, right?
No.
It was exclusively Disney Plus? Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah, I remember because I remember seeing an article where like the creators were pretty upset that People would get to experience it on the big screen, and then it was just going straight to Disney Plus, which I can understand if you put in that much time and effort, and then it just goes straight to Disney Plus.
I don't understand Disney Plus is I don't understand Disney's plan as far as doing some things premiere access, some things where it's free on Disney Plus, but it's only Disney Plus, and then some things where it's free on Disney Plus and you can go to the theater to see it. I don't understand it.
Yeah, because Soul was. Soul was free.
Soul was free, but you could see it in theaters.
Yeah.
Cruella is premiere access, which you can also see in theaters. Luca, for some reason, is just Disney Plus, and it's free on Disney Plus.
Black Widow's going to be premiere access.
I don't understand.
In theaters.
I don't understand their thinking with all of it. Maybe they're just experimenting with all these different things to see what works best.
I definitely think they are because with HBO Max, we're seeing they're releasing stuff they do day and day. Yeah. So I think they're just trying to get a feel for
probably what makes the most money, maybe.
Well, they know for sure that Marvel's going to bring in the big bucks, so they probably release that.
Yeah, I think it's definitely smart to do Black Widow premiere access. I will say I'm probably gonna go to the theater. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we might buy it here.
I'll probably go see it in theaters just
because Texas.
Just because I haven't seen anything in theaters yet.
I mean, I haven't either, but Texas is not a very safe, fun place to go.
Go out.
I mean, some people are. Some people are a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, Luca, what'd you think, man?
It was good. I liked it. I'm gonna just give it 4 out of 5 stars. That's what I gave it.
Good. You liked it 4 out of 5 stars. So it was great, or it was good.
It was great. I mean, I would probably watch it again. Not tomorrow or anything, but if I'm ever feeling
do it. Watch it tomorrow, Dylan. Watch it after we're done podcasting right now.
No, you get burnt out on movies.
It is a short movie. That's the one thing. I heard that it was the shortest movie since Toy Story, as far as Pixar movies go. I
don't know about that.
As far as other Pixar movies, not ever.
I watched a bunch of Pixar movies, man. They're all an hour and 37, an hour and 30. This movie said hour and 40.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but the credits were
the credits were 20 minutes long.
No, well, yeah.
So it was an hour 20 or something like that.
So I mean, it depends, but I mean, it did feel very short. I said, I liked it. It was very fun, kids going around exploring Greece, trying to hide the fact that there's sea monsters.
I don't think it was Greece. I thought it was Italy.
Somewhere over there.
Somewhere in Europe.
Somewhere in Europe. It was somewhere beautiful that I'll probably never see.
But, somewhere on our bucket list trip.
Somewhere that we want to visit. It probably was Italy. I don't know. I don't know why I thought.
I'm pretty sure it was Italy.
I don't know. Greece felt. I don't know. Greece is by the sea.
Yeah. I feel you. I thought this was awesome, man. I thought it was really funny.
Really fun. I love the cat. I loved the cat.
Oh my god, dude! Every time it's
he just pops up out of nowhere and he's just and he's staring him down and they bribe him with fish to keep him.
Yeah, when they just throw him into the ocean, that was pretty good.
It was a solid movie. I definitely enjoyed it.
Yeah, I liked how usually Pixar movies these days, at least, are very deep as far as their themes, and sometimes I think they get a little too Soul is really deep to the point where I don't think kids watch Soul and they're wow, this is fantastic, I had so much fun. But
I got some stuff to say about that. I'll just leave that for later.
But I think that this movie was a very just good basic this is a kids movie, it's a lot of fun, sure there are themes, and sure it is deep if you want to dig deep, but for the most part it's just a fun movie.
Yeah.
I liked. I think my favorite thing in the whole movie was just like whenever they were building like their what was it, Vespa?
Yeah,
at the very beginning, they're building their own Vespa and stuff, and that whole sequence is just like so much fun, and it's pretty. It's a pretty long sequence when you think of like the whole movie, and how short it is. I really have to get
going, and then it's like 2 hours later, and it's like, okay, now I really have to get going, and then it's like another 2 hours later. He's like, okay, that's it, I have to go, and then it's like nighttime. It was very fun. It was like just very fun, like, and it felt very much like when you're a kid and you have like a get rich quick scheme, like
you're just like, I'll just do this and then I rule the world.
Yeah, you're just like, I'll do this
lemonade stand 20, and then I can buy a Corvette.
Yeah, you're just like, I'll do this, I'll get $20 and then I can buy this and be the coolest person ever. Because that's exactly what they did. They're like, we're just gonna enter this contest, win, and we're getting a Vespa and we're gonna see the world. It felt very much like a fun, like, kids, like
kids, just their outrageous thoughts. I think I'm gonna start like yelling Silencio Bruno to myself every once in a while.
Silencio Bruno.
Anytime I'm like, man, I think I might be going a little too fast on this highway. I might be like, Silencio Bruno, I need to go faster.
You should probably be slowing down.
I really liked I love the dad. The dude with the one arm, like I thought his just whole like whenever they first introduced him and he's like Figaro, like I thought that was hilarious. His whole character, and I really loved his daughter. I loved I forget all the names of all these characters.
I just know Luca. Oh my god,
Alberto.
And then Bruno, who Julia. Needs to Silencio.
Yeah, Julia is the name of the girl, and I really liked her. I thought she was like whenever she like got added into the movie, because like she doesn't come in until later on. I thought like it was like the perfect like spark, and I also liked the villain. Like he was just a jerk.
Oh man, classic rich kid,
big old buck teeth.
Yeah. I said dude bro, but like in my mind,
bro. Yeah.
He doesn't look like a dude bro, but like that is the dude bro mentality of like, yeah, you get it.
I got what you're saying. I like the finale of this where it was like
the finale was I loved it.
It was so like, it felt small, but like the whole thing is like building up to just like this triathlon and that's it. But I mean, it felt like it was small, but it felt like big. I feel like.
Well, yeah, because I mean, these people thought the sea monsters were bad, and then they like find out like these are just kids. Like we've been hunting kids. Like I'm sure
not
I'm
a
sure
good
some
look for
of
humans.
I'm sure some of them
killed kids.
I'm sure some of them had that realization. Because like Julia's dad like stuck up for him. He's like, these are good kids, and then the rest of them just kind of like walked away. But like I'm sure once they went home, they probably opened up a bottle or two of like vodka or whatever they drink up there, and they're just like, oh my god, I murdered a kid or like something like that.
He was just trying to get a Vespa and I murdered him.
I mean, they're probably thinking that.
But yeah, I would also go 4 out of 5 on this. I thought it was
good. I loved what his like grandma ended up saying at the end, where it's like some people won't accept him, but some will, and he's like, and it looks like he doesn't have any problem finding the ones that will. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, a lot of metaphors in this movie. I saw somebody call it calamari by the sea.
Yeah,
or calamari by the sea. Yeah, good pun. But yeah, Dylan, I thought this was great. Do you want to move into our Pixar rankings?
Let's do it.
So we're gonna rank every single Pixar movie.
Every single one? I thought we were doing top 10.
Yeah, we're just doing top 10. I'm just kidding. Top 10 Pixar movies. Dylan, I'm gonna let you start it off this week.
Boy, this was a.
Dylan went and watched a lot of Pixar movies this week.
Tough one, man. Like, boy. I'm going to start it off with Incredibles. Number 10.
Wow. Number 10 for Incredibles?
You just wait.
I thought for sure this was going to be your number 1. For sure.
you know, there's a sequel, right?
Okay.
Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
All right, so talk to me a little bit about Incredibles, Dylan.
I mean, what do I need to say? What more do I need to say? Where is my super suit? Man, where is it? Okay, it's just
Frozone is a great character, you know.
They are all great characters. I love the story behind it. You know, there's this mom and dad. Well, they weren't mom and dad back in the day, but it was just Bob and Helen, and they loved each other, and they were two superheroes, and they got married, and like they were in this time where like superheroes were like a big part of the world, and then they weren't able to do that anymore because what was it? That one dude, Mr. Incredible, jumped off the roof.
It's because they kept messing things up, man. It's like the Sokovia Accords, you know, like superheroes are just messing everything up. We need to like have a lock on these people. Stop being superheroes. We don't need you.
That's not gonna solve the problem. There's still gonna be super villains that arise.
Well, that's what the movie's about, man.
Exactly, and like I said, I just thought it was really great because like then they go into like hiding, you know, retirement or whatever. And he's living this really unhappy life, and then he gets the chance to be the superhero again. And it's just like a great story about like, redemption is that? I don't know if redemption is the right word, but like finding yourself again and like what it means.
I think it's a story about like finding what's important to you.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of like a balance between work and family in this movie, at least. But obviously, like work is like being a superhero,
and the family business is being superheroes.
Yeah, and part of it's like kind of like having like your dreams, like of like the dream thing that you wanted to do, but then you end up like being something else. And I think it's like about like that balance. I'll talk a little bit more about Incredibles in a little bit. It is on my list.
But I love it. It's a classic. And then, you know, Samuel L. Jackson as Frozone.
Chef's kiss.
Automatically cements it in the top 10 anywhere, everywhere, because it's just great. Yep.
I agree. Okay, my number 10. I was just watching a clip of it beforehand. It's Up. This is movie came out in 2009. It's about like this old man who loses his wife because, you know, people get old. And they had this dream to go up on this mountain and have their house up there, and they never got to finish it. Yeah, it's a really weird dream. Put your house on top of a mountain. Like
it wasn't even a mountain. It was just like a cliff.
It was a cliff waterfall. How are they going to get groceries?
That's exactly what I was thinking the whole time. I'm like, how are you gonna order food? Like, there's no
DoorDash, bro. DoorDash.
They're like in what, South America, right? Yeah, South America.
Peru. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it's Peru.
Like, there ain't no DoorDash out there. DoorDash hasn't even been invented yet. I don't think.
2009? Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. So it's like, how you getting your groceries, Carl? You gonna go out there and you're gonna hunt for your food?
Dylan, you are ruining a beautiful, beautiful story.
I'm sorry. Look, don't be fooled by my tirade. I really like this movie. I just hate whenever like movies have really big plot holes like that are just like glaringly obvious. Like,
dude, dreams don't have to make sense, man. Maybe they were just gonna go like
they do in some part.
Maybe they were just gonna go cut down some bananas from nearby. Like maybe people live out in the jungle.
Maybe that was where they were just gonna die. Maybe it was the suicide pact or something.
Maybe they were always planning on just going out there being old and like dying, starving to death in their house together, holding hands.
I mean, they were old. I don't think they were going out hunting. Carl had weird thing. Just gonna bring it up. I'm gonna let you get back to it, but like,
is this on your list?
No.
Okay.
But I just like, so Carl started off the movie with the walker, but then like by the end of the movie, he didn't need it whatsoever.
Yeah, dude. I mean, haven't you ever like been laying in bed and then you get up and you're like, oh God, man, my back hurts. I feel terrible. My bones but Dylan, once you start moving, then you feel a little better and you get a little looser.
It hurts worse.
No,
it hurts worse.
Dylan, I think you need to get up and move more.
My spine is in an S shape from scoliosis. Okay.
Well, I don't think Carl had scoliosis. Okay, he was just old.
Yeah,
you just see him whenever he gets up from bed and he like cracks his back. Like he's obviously still pretty limber, man. He's limber.
Do that, and it doesn't feel good.
Anyways, there's a talking dog. There's a talking dog who's great. You know, he's like, "I love you." The whole squirrel thing, like that's like iconic these days. I love the little kid. Like Russell's so just like he's just so wholesome, you know. Like he's just a little kid wandering around trying to get his scout badge. But yeah, I think like overall this story is kind of like it's pretty wacky. It's kind of like not very believable at all. But I mean, it's also a cartoon. But yeah, it's just like this fun adventure movie with like this really sad like story where it's like there's this sad, like everybody's seen it, the sad part where like it goes through their life and it's just like only the music playing and you find out she can't have, or like she gets like a miscarriage, and then
I think it was either miscarriage or can't have kids.
I think it was a mixture of both. I think she had a miscarriage and then she couldn't have kids because they had like made the nursery. You wouldn't make the nursery unless she was pregnant, right?
Yeah. So yeah,
unless they're just really like, unless they were really gung ho,
they were really optimistic.
Yeah,
but no, yeah, I think because it can happen where like, you know, you can get pregnant and then you miscarry and then you find out that
sometimes if you miscarry, like, and we should stop talking, like we should not be talking about this. We're talking about Pixar movies still.
Yes.
Anyways,
we're getting off track.
Number 10.
Anyway, yes. Good choice. I like the movie. I think I gave it 3.5 out of 5.
Oh, just a heads up. Every one of my top 10s are 4-star or higher.
I gave them varying from like 3 to 5, but I mean a 3 is like solid in my book. Number 9, Luca.
All right.
I really enjoyed it. It was fun. It's something you can, you know, watch if you're ever just like kind of.
This is definitely down. Like you could just throw this on movie.
Yeah, and it's like if you're feeling down,
have a good time.
Yeah, if you're feeling down, you know, you could throw it on and you'll perk up, you know, because it's fun. It's about friendship and it's about a summer friendship, and like to me that is just beautiful. It's fun. I mean, kicking back with your friends on a nice summer day, just chilling.
Yeah, this is just like a chill movie where like who wouldn't want to spend some time in Italy, even if you have to live through them, you know?
Yeah, or Greece, wherever it is. I wish so much. It's Italy or Greece. It's one of the two.
One of the two.
Like, what if we're way off and it's like Scandinavia or something?
It's Russia.
Not.
It's in Russia.
Not. It's not. But like, what if they were like, oh yeah, we put this film in Russia because we thought it was.
I would bet money that it is in Italy, Dylan.
It's probably Italy, but like I don't know. In my mind, whenever I saw it, like I just kept thinking Greece. It reminded me of like.
Yeah, I get it. There's oceans in like Greece. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but it also kind of reminded me of like the place that they went to in Aquaman. You know, and I thought that was in Greece.
Little seaside town. Yeah.
Yeah, it felt like it was in Greece for some reason. I don't know. It just gave off Greek vibes, but it could be in Italy or Greece. We're not sure.
All right, can I go for my number 9?
Yeah, go.
All right, my number 9 is the OG Toy Story.
Oh, did I put that? Oh,
is that on your list?
No, but there is a Toy Story. But
okay. So
this one was hard because like making this list. I'm just sorry,
this is a tough list, man. This is a tough list
because you have like Toy Story, Toy Story 2, Toy Story 3, and Toy Story 4.
All bangers.
Yeah, and like you have that with not just this, but like there's Monsters Inc., Monsters University, Incredibles 1, Incredibles 2. There's like sequels and like they're all good. Very tough list.
I for the most part I know where I stand on all the sequels. I think so. Toy Story 3 I think is like more. Like, I get more feels from Toy Story 3, but it's not on my list because...
Spoiler alert, it's on mine.
Because Toy Story 1, I think it's definitely the nostalgia for me.
Definitely is. I don't know.
I think it's actually 100% the nostalgia for me that like puts it as high as it is.
Mm-hmm.
it's like this is like the go-to. Obviously, it's like the first Pixar movie, but this is like the go-to where like anyone our age or older, pretty much. Well, not older, but like anybody around our age group, they're gonna tell you that Toy Story is an amazing movie. I don't know what kids.
All the Toy Story movies are amazing.
I don't know if kids these days are watching Toy Story and saying, "Wow, this is a banger." Because I think that I don't think the animation stands up as well these days compared to like you watch Toy Story 1 and then you watch Toy Story 4, you're gonna be like, "Whoa,
yeah, there's a difference." Like super different. But like, this is what we grew up on. Like Toy Story 1 and 2 were like the OG classics.
I do think like they get better, but this one just like holds a place in your heart. You know.
That's fair. I was like I said, I was struggling with this list because trying to choose between like any of the Toy Story movies is very difficult.
Very difficult.
But good choice. I like the Toy Story classic, the OG. My turn.
Yep, number 8.
I went with Onward. I just watched it today.
Wow,
for the first time.
This movie came out last year.
Yeah, I watched it for the first time today, and I really liked it.
Not on my list, but I do really like it.
I mean, I love the whole. I'm a sucker for a quest. You know, any movie with a quest. Well, not any movie, because there are some dumps out there that involve quests. But like a good movie with a good quest and like a nice journey and like character progression. It hits the mark, and I teared up watching this. And
I did also tear up when I first saw it.
Any movie that makes you tear up, I mean, it means it's good. It's good stuff.
I don't think that's necessarily true, but I get what you mean.
I mean, yes. Yeah, if it's done right and it makes you tear up.
Unless you're crying because it's so bad. You're like, I want it to end.
You're just like, I just want it to stop. No, but like, I loved at the end towards the end when he was like checking off this list that he had written for stuff he wanted to do with his dad, but then he realized he had done it with like his brother instead. And I thought that was really cool because, you know, it kind of showed that like, oh, well, like, you don't have to be just, you know, family, you know. In my mind, I was thinking about like, you know, if you have like an older friend, you know, who's like maybe a couple years older, but you've like, you know, been around a lot,
like a father figure,
yeah, you know, and they've done some of these, you know, teachable moments that your dad should have, you know. I thought that was really cool. That it's like, hey, you know, it doesn't have to be your dad, any kind of, you know,
mentor figure.
Yeah, I was like, that's real nice, you know.
Yeah, the only thing with this movie, so I thought about putting this on my list.
It felt short. It felt way too short.
I think the only thing about this movie is I think it's kind of forgettable. Like, obviously you just watched it, so it's kind of, we'll see down the line whether it becomes forgettable for you. But like, I don't remember much of what happened throughout the movie, which is kind of bad.
It's just them driving.
I don't think that their adventure was that great as far as like the things that happened.
Yeah, no, I really wish that the adventure was a little bit more adventurous than just them really driving around.
Like for the world that they set up, where it's like these like mythical creatures in like modern day, I thought that they could have done a lot cooler stuff. I feel like.
Mm-hmm. And then him discovering that he can do magic.
Yeah, that was. See, I forgot that happened. But yeah, I remember. Yeah, I do really like this movie, and it did make me cry.
Yeah.
My number 8 is something we just talked about, Luca.
All right.
We've already said it 3 or 4 times. Like this is just a chill movie. A lot of fun.
Classic film that takes place in Greece or Italy, possibly Russia. We're not
possibly
sure.
Russia. What more can I say about Luca? It kind of reminded me of. I know you haven't seen any Studio Ghibli movies, but it reminded me of one of those just in the way that it's it's more of a vibe where it's like
you just reminded
it's just
me.
chill. You just watch it. You
just reminded me. I gotta watch all those movies.
Yeah, you gotta watch all those before July because we're gonna do a Studio Ghibli pod.
Oh man,
it's okay. You got time for those. You don't have to do those in a week.
Yeah.
But yeah, Luca, what you got? Number 7.
Monsters Incorporated. Monsters Inc.
The OG Monsters Inc. Well, our lists are very different, Mr. Dillon.
You don't have Monsters Inc.
I do have Monsters Inc. on my list.
Oh, the Monsters Inc. It was different. You're like, our lists are completely different. You don't have Monsters Inc.
Our placings,
no, I do.
Our placings are very different.
I mean, it's
okay.
It's all about preference,
No, yeah. I'm not 100%.
My list isn't like a solid like.
Dude, it's so hard with these where it's like quality versus preference. Like my number 1 and number 2 are like tear my heart apart.
I think my first, second, I think my first through 4th movies are definitely the place where they're meant to be, and then like 5 through 10 just kind of depends on what I'm feeling.
Depends on the day, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like they're all.
I feel that.
But Monsters Inc. It's a classic. I mean, how can you not like Monsters Inc.? I mean, Mike Wazowski,
Mike Wazowski.
It's classic. John Goodman, Billy Crystal. I think that's his name, Billy Crystal.
Yeah, that's his name.
Oh boy, I don't know what else to say except it's classic. Like I can put it on and like watch it all the way through and not be bored by it. Like it's still like it cracks me up to this day. Like whenever Sully thinks that Boo is going through like the garbage thing, and
man,
and like he keeps like popping up, and he's like doing all these facial expressions or whatever. And
at the end when he picks him up, he's like,
yeah.
He's carrying it around all sad.
And then he finds Boo, and then he's like,
"Oh man,
it's solid,
Yeah, I'll talk about it more later, Dylan.
Maybe you'll have the right words. I'm like running off 40 minutes of sleep for this entire day.
Yeah, it's okay. My number 7 is Cars, the OG Cars.
Really? This did not even crack my
Not on your list at all. Yeah, people don't like Cars, man.
It's not that I don't like it. It's just compared with like all the other Pixar.
I think the OG Cars is a really good movie, and I don't care what anyone else says.
I'm gonna tell you something. I really liked Cars 3.
I have not seen Cars 2 or 3, so I don't really know.
I've heard Cars 2 is kind of meh, but like
I heard it's terrible.
Yeah, same. But Cars 3 was actually like pretty interesting. Like, I don't know if you're gonna watch it, but
I'll watch it eventually. I actually do want to watch these eventually.
It's pretty.
One day
good,
I'll complete all my Cars movies.
Cars is a good movie. When that end, whenever he has the chance to win, but then he goes back and helps.
The town.
No. When he goes back and helps the older car that like is struggling to make it.
Doc.
Not Doc Hudson. Remember there was a 3-way tie, and they had to do a tie breaking race. Yep. And it was Lightning McQueen.
So you're talking about whenever like he crashes into the car and then he like because it was his last race. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So it was Lightning McQueen, his rival, and then the
blue
Dynaco,
car,
the Dynaco dude,
and
his rival trashes the Dynaco.
Yeah, dude. So he goes back and to push.
Yeah, and instead of winning the race for himself, he goes back and helps him. I mean, that's just a classic. I don't know. Dang, you're making me relive this movie and
Now you're pissed you didn't put it on your list, huh?
No, now I'm I have a greater appreciation for it. I'm this is
the part that you just explained. I kind of forgot about that part. It's all the stuff in
it's kind of
in Radiator Springs. I feel like all that stuff is so good. Like that whole town is so entertaining to me. Obviously Mater's fun. He's cool. Even Mater's not even the best part of all just all their different personalities. I think is great. I love the way that they turn cars into people in this, where like all the different things that they stay in and the way that
cones,
like how they sleep in the cones. They have the joke in the movie where it's like, it's funny because you're supposed to usually avoid cones, but you want us to sleep in them. Great stuff from Owen Wilson in this.
Yep. Wow.
His ka-chow is just unrivaled. Ka-chow. Yeah. Cars, number 7.
Good choice. My turn. Number 6.
Number 6.
For number 6, a little thing I just watched the other day, Inside Out.
Oh, not on my list.
I mean, as somebody who's been going through it.
Someone who has feelings.
Boy, did it strike some nerves in me.
You said it was the first time you've seen it?
Yeah, it was a really like solid movie. I was really ticked off at Joy the like entire movie because
stop being so happy, Joy. Not everybody's so happy. Stupid.
Well, like kind of that in a way. Joy tried to make everything and all the memories happy. Like even if you paid attention, like all the like memories were mainly Joy's work.
Yeah.
And like that's just not how life works at all. And like I think they did a good way of like getting to that point in the movie, but I was just so infuriated with Joy because she kept trying to prevent sadness from like
sadness, yeah,
from like taking
expressing herself,
yeah, she kept telling her not to like experience sadness, and I'm like, sometimes you just gotta have a good cry in the shower, okay, with your good old shower beer,
Does that happen in the movie? I haven't seen it in a while. I don't remember.
No. I'm just thinking like...
You're just thinking of what you did last night.
No, I've never had a shower beer. I've known people who have had shower beers. Okay.
I don't think I've ever had a shower beer.
I don't understand.
Maybe I should try it.
I don't understand the reasoning behind it, but I've seen some people have shower beers, and I feel like they were going through it okay. I feel like they needed to talk about some stuff, but sometimes, like I said, you just gotta feel the sadness, or the anger, or the fear, or the jealousy, or the happiness. And then, I liked by the end of the movie, they realized that, like, the memories don't have to be just, like, only joy or only sadness. It can be a mixture of them, And, like, I thought it was really good, like, way of, like, showing kids, like, it's okay to feel these things,
stuff,
Yeah. And, yeah, I mean, like I said, for those of us who have been going through it, which is pretty much everybody from 2020,
everybody could use a little Inside Out in their life.
Yeah, I think they could. I mean, I could use a good cry.
Yeah, I like this movie. I think that all the themes are like definitely... I think that the themes make the movie for me. I think that the overall adventure, again, I don't think is as
important as the message.
I don't think it holds. Yeah, I don't remember as much of it. I do think it's cool how like they go through like the different. I forget what they call them. Like the memory. It's like their main ones, like their mainline things.
Core memories.
Yeah, core memories. I like how they go through those. I like Bing Bong. Bing Bong's cool. When Bing Bong disappears, man, that's sad. Yeah.
I feel sadness now.
It's okay. That's okay. You're allowed to feel sadness, Dylan. It's okay. But yeah, I like Inside Out.
It's a good movie. All right.
Okay.
6.
My number 6.
Yes.
I have 2 Toy Story movies on this list, Dylan. And
Toy Story 2?
Number 6 is Toy Story 2. My favorite of the Toy Story movies.
Oh, your favorite.
So this is my last Toy Story movie on the list.
I think Toy Story 2 might be my favorite too.
Yeah?
Actually, no, it's not.
Oh, okay.
It's a good one.
This is when I think Toy Story, this is the movie that I think of. I think of Al's Toy Barn. I think of Zurg. I think of like I think of like them finding like Jessie and Bullseye and all that. The Prospector. I think that this movie just like takes everything dude, this is the Empire Strikes Back of Toy Story movies, man.
It's a solid movie. It is
literally has Luke, I am not your father. Luke, I am your father. Except it's Buzz, I am your father.
Yep.
The whole thing with like the other Buzz, and him trying to fight real Buzz. Like all that stuff was great. Them going into like the toy barn and you get to see all the Barbies and stuff like having their party, and just like you get to see what other toys are doing outside of Andy's room.
It's very fun.
Is this the one with Squeaky? I think it is. Squeaky's on the shelf and he's like, man, poor Squeaky, man.
The penguin.
Yeah, the penguin who's lost his squeaker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, doesn't Woody try to save him, and that's what ends up getting Woody? Yeah,
that's how he gets. That's how he gets ends up in that box or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This movie rocks, dude. I love this movie.
The Toy Story movies bring pain.
They bring pain, but they're very this one's a fun adventure.
It is. Because at the end, it doesn't like...
At the end, they're literally chasing them on an airstrip. And, like, they're climbing... Yeah, Bullseye has to keep up with a 747 or whatever.
And somehow he does. I don't understand. Not trying to tear it down.
Dude, he rides like the wind, bro. He rides like the wind. Toy Story 2 is sick.
Good choice. Number 5. Coco.
Oh, Coco number 5. Was this the first time you've seen it?
Yes.
Dude.
And
tell me all about it, bro.
You know what? I teared up.
I have a feeling you teared up in a lot of these movies that you watched.
During quite a bit of these movies, I feel like.
Pixar is known for making you tear up.
Pixar movies are known for just like, hey, we're going to show you this really cool animation. It's really cool. It's fun cartoons. You're going to love it. And then you sit down and then like in my head, it's just like metal bars come up from like the little arms rests. And then it's like, now you're stuck with the pain as you like sit there like enjoying the animation, but then seeing the slow undertones of the movie and the real themes coming out. And then you're just like having an existential crisis right there.
So what about this movie gave you an existential crisis?
I mean,
death?
Kind of. I mean, like...
People not for remembering you when you die?
Well, not that, but just like, you know, the idea of what happens after you die, you know, just like... I don't know, it felt very fun. The way they showed it in Coco, but I wouldn't say fun time, doesn't seem fun.
Dude, one thing I think about this movie is like when they die, like they have to go and like live another life where there's like class systems still, and like there's these rich people and like still these poor people. Like it's kind of messed up. I'm like, I really hope the afterlife isn't like that.
Then on Cinco de Mayo, they all party, which is pretty cool.
It's not Cinco de Mayo, it's Day of the Dead.
Day of the Dead. I don't know why I keep mixing up Cinco de Mayo and Day of the Dead. I did that earlier too. I don't know why.
It's okay, Dylan. Dylan's white. Everybody, leave him alone.
I gotta break that connection because for some reason Day of the Dead and Cinco de Mayo for some reason linked.
They're both Mexican holidays.
Don't understand how, but on Day of the Dead they live it up, which is pretty fun, and they get to go out and like.
But only if people like remember them and put stuff out for them.
True, which I thought was really interesting, you know. But like,
are you gonna start making an ofrenda for your family? No. So I guess your family members don't get to come and eat bread.
I mean, I don't think any of them believe in that whole thing, you know. Personally,
it's not about believing; it's about remembering.
Look. I don't have the best memory as it is. I'll probably put up a picture one day and I'll be like, who the hell is that? And my luck, I'll be staring in a mirror and I'll be like, oh, it's me. Pull a Finding Dory. But no, it was a fun movie.
Yeah, I'm going to talk a lot about this later.
Because it's on your list too.
It's on my list.
It's a fun, sad movie. It's a fun, sad movie, you know. You sit there and you're having a good time, like, oh, he's gonna, play music like his great grandpa, and then you come to find out that his great grandfather was. I called this movie, by the way. I was texting my friend while I was watching
can imagine you being like, "Oh, this is gonna happen. Oh, it's actually him."
I literally texted my friend and I was like, "All right, so Hector is actually his great grandpa, right?" And he was like, "How far are you into this movie?" I was like, "Oh, he just met Hector," and I was like, "And that's his great grandfather." And then he's like, "Yeah, but there's more to it." And I was like, "Let me guess. This Ernesto de la Cruz let Hector die and then stole his guitar. And then what happened? Boom. He let him die." And
it wasn't the chorizo man.
But it was, like I said, it was a fun movie. I loved the dog. I forgot his Dante.
Dante. Yeah, Dante's funny.
He just like...
There's always just like one fun, like, goofy character in all these movies.
Yeah, and
except for Luca. Luca didn't have one of those, did it? Oh no, it had a cat.
Yeah, it was the cat. It's always the animal.
Yeah.
But Dante was just like, it was so fun. He was just happy to be along for the ride, and then I loved him interacting with like his relatives in the afterlife, and like she gave him her blessing to go back. On the promise that he wouldn't play music again.
That he's played it immediately.
As soon as he gets back, he steals the guitar and goes. I was like, oh.
Such a kid thing to do, yeah.
He's just busted. And she's like, oh, so I give you my blessing to go back, and you lie to me. You break your promise. It's just fun.
I think the greatest part about this movie is like all the characters in it are like people that I know. Like I've seen this person like before, and like I've had like this.
You've seen them in like your friend.
Like I've known this group. Angry Nana. Like it's very relatable.
It's fun, I thought it was great, and it was a great way to teach people about the Day of the Dead, not Cinco de Mayo, the Day of the Dead.
Yep. Dia de los Muertos.
Which takes place in November, I believe.
It's like 5 days or something like that, from October to November.
Yeah, something like that.
It's like 3 days. I don't remember. Something like that.
Is it 3 days? They made it seem like
it's a few days. It's like there's a Day of the Dead, but there's like a celebration of like these like 3 days. Yeah.
Because
it's like Halloween is like one. And then
gotcha.
like there's Day of the Dead, and then, I honestly I'm not sure on all of them, but I know there's like 3 different days.
Gotcha.
But Day of the Dead's like November 1st.
Gotcha.
But yeah,
good stuff.
Good old Coco. Number 5 for me. I got the OG Incredibles. I can't believe how low you have this, Dylan. I'm gonna be honest with you. This movie
I made this list like an hour before we recorded this. Okay.
You're about to, in a little bit, you're gonna tell me that Incredibles 2 is better than the original Incredibles, and I'm gonna throw up in my mouth. Look, OG Incredibles.
Really what's gonna happen?
OG Incredibles is like fantastic, man. It's just so like first like the setting, like the overall setting is like this old. What is it, like the 50s kind of vibe?
It's like 50s, 60s.
Yeah, 50s, 60s vibe of like superheroes. It's kind of like Watchmen-y when you think about it.
Because like they're super technologically advanced for being in like the 50s and 60s.
Yeah, it's like James Bondy, like the cars and stuff. Like the cars have gadgets and all that.
Yeah. Or like in the sequel, the awesome, cool sequel. There's Elastic.
Not on my list. I think the sequel's fine.
We're gonna have words.
But dude, everything in this movie, like, what's the villain's name?
Syndrome.
Syndrome was a great villain, man. I like the idea of Syndrome, where he was like his sidekick. Well, he wanted to be his sidekick.
His real name was Buddy.
Yeah, Buddy, go home. Yeah, poor.
Dude, he got sucked up into a plane engine.
Yeah.
How brutal.
Wait. Did he?
Yeah, because of the cape.
No, he doesn't get sucked into a plane engine. Isn't it the I thought it was it is a plane, because it's at the end.
Yeah.
No capes, man. You got Edna Mode, man. Edna Mode is like iconic.
Yeah.
Absolutely iconic in this movie.
No capes, bro. No capes.
No capes. Jack's hilarious.
Dude, I love Jack.
Dash is fun. I love the dynamic of the family in this. Like Dash is just such a like the kid where he's like the boy who's just obnoxious and cocky. And
I identify with Violet a lot.
And then there's Violet where it's just like, leave me alone. I just want to live my life. Like
being an introvert.
You're introvert. Yeah.
Feel bad.
This movie rocks, man.
It's a good movie.
I don't know what else to say. I'm disappointed in you.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
10.
What's, no, go ahead. What's next?
Number 4, Toy Story 3.
Oh, that is high. Yeah. Very high. This is a good movie, man. It's not on my list just because it's not like my favorite. Like I don't feel like attached to it as much, but I know that it's like a really good movie.
It's super good. I don't know. Just I watched this movie in 8th grade. So, and it was like close to whenever we were getting ready to graduate and go off to high school. And so the theme of, growing up was very present,
We were only in 8th grade when this came out?
No, I think it came out a little bit before, but I just said I remember watching it in 8th grade when I was in the 8th grade. And,
this movie came out in 2010. We were in
8th grade.
Oh, yeah. Jeez. I thought this movie came out when I was in like high school.
No. So, I don't know. Just like the theme of growing up was just like very present in the movie. And like going from middle school to high school. And then the fact of like, hey, you have to start figuring out your life now. Felt very present. And so, I don't know. It just kind of stuck with me, this idea of like growing up.
But I like the ultimate idea of like, you don't have to let go of everything. Like, that like ties you to being a kid.
But he did let go of his toys, which were.
But I mean, it's not that he let go of them. It's more that he like. He gave them purpose. He kept their soul going. He gave them the kids.
And that girl just totally threw away Woody like he was nothing. But that's a different discussion for another day.
Oh, I haven't seen Toy Story 4, so I don't really know.
Oh, spoiler alert. Thought you watched it.
No, I didn't. Sorry.
You'll like it. I didn't spoil anything.
I've heard it's good. It's fine.
It's sad. Big surprise, a Pixar movie being sad. Who saw that coming?
Big surprise.
But Toy Story 3 it's very fun, with what's his name? Lotso Hugs.
Lotso, man, what a like, jerk.
Being a diabolical like mafia boss in like this
strawberry bear little
man. He like ran that entire like preschool.
Yeah, he's literally the Godfather in this movie.
He was like trying to get Ken to like brainwash Barbie and all that. He brainwashed Buzz. Boy, I mean, I don't know. For me,
Buzz speaking Spanish, this was pretty fun.
It felt very like Godfather-y, and it was like fun in a way. Yeah. But it was Godfather, so it was just a good time.
The one thing in this movie is like the part where they're all gonna die. That part is like that's the part where it's like, oh my god, that's I'm like so sad.
That's the part where you're like in tears in the theater.
Pouring in tears. I remember I was in tears. This part and the end whenever he gives them away.
Yeah.
Tears.
Straight up bawling my eyes out. Which is fine. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Inside Out says it's okay.
It's okay to feel those sadness, okay? You don't have to be happy all the time.
It's okay.
Okay. Your number 4.
My number 4 is Monsters, Inc. Also disappointed. What? Wait, what'd you have this at?
7.
Yeah. Monsters, Inc., man.
Like I said, it just kind of flows depending on what I'm feeling.
This is like, in my head, when I think Pixar, I think Monsters, Inc.
It's very much like...
It's just like...
It played all the time on Disney Channel, I feel like.
I don't even remember it from that. I just feel like I remember this being like the first, like, wow, this is like an actually like really good movie. And I think this because this was after Toy Story. I don't know if it was directly after. It wasn't directly after Toy Story, but I think this is like one of the first ones where it's like you start getting the feels in Pixar movies. Because this is 2001, and Bugs Life is 1998. Toy Story is 95.
Toy Story 2 is 2002, right? Or no, was it 2000?
Yeah, but Toy Story 2 isn't really the feels either, I feel like.
It kind of is.
2000, Toy Story 2 is 99.
Really?
Yeah, it's old. So I don't even know. What the heck came out in between those? I don't see. I mean, I'm sure there's movies, right? Unless I took a break. Maybe they took a break. Anyways, Monsters Inc.
It took a
because Monsters Inc. was 2001, so it was 2 years. Yeah,
a break.
But yeah, this is when you first start kind of seeing the feels where like, and you're learning like you really learn like lessons in this, where it's like,
don't scare people.
Yeah, don't scare people. That's the lesson.
It's the main lesson there.
I just recently watched Monsters University.
I love it.
And I like that movie. I don't think it's nearly as good as the other stuff on this top 10 list. But
I'm excited to see the new show that they're coming out with.
I'm really excited for the new show.
I'm curious to see how that,
but yeah, dude, I think Monsters Inc.'s amazing. Like you said, Mike Wazowski's great. Sully's great. Boo, adorable. Just nothing but lady. Put that thing back where it came from. Or so help me. So help me. We got a 2319.
2319.
The abominable snowman in this is great.
I always love
making
that
snow
part.
cones. I love it.
I always love that part.
I just think this one's like really inventive with like the way that they flip, like they take a premise and then they flip it.
To make monsters not scary.
Yeah, and it's just really entertaining. But yeah, Monsters Inc. number 4.
Number 3.
Number 3, man. We're in the top 3. Let's go through them. We're overtime already.
Ratatouille.
What?
Yeah, I really like Ratatouille.
Ratatouille, Dylan?
I really like it.
Ratatouille is your number 3 Pixar movie?
Dude, it's about...
The one with the rat chef, right? That's the one you're talking about?
Yes, man.
That's your number 3 Pixar movie?
Dude, it hits deep, okay? He feels like he's disappointing his family because he wants to be a chef when they want him to just go around eating garbage. And, I mean, I relate. I feel like a disappointment all the time to everybody.
I can't believe Ratatouille is your number 3.
Dude, it's fun. I don't know, like... It's fun.
I actually watched Ratatouille for the first time.
Bagging on it, really.
I don't know.
It's fun.
I don't know if it was this year or last year, but I liked it a lot.
So why are you bagging on it?
It's not like one of these greats that like all these other movies are like greats, like classics, and Ratatouille is just like the one with the chef rat. Like it's good.
It's because you're only looking at it skin deep. You totally missed the part where like he's trying to be himself.
I get that. Yeah, no, I get it.
With what his parents want him to be, with what his family wants him to be, and he doesn't want to do that.
Yeah,
He feels like he's being a disappointment, And like, I think it's important, And by the end, his dad's like, "Hey, you know what? Yeah, I can't believe that I didn't see. Yeah, I didn't see it before, but I see how much you care, and your happiness is important to me, and you're not a disappointment. I think that's just a good lesson to be showcasing kids.
Look, Dylan, I'm sorry for ragging on you about Ratatouille.
Well, no, I feel bad.
I understand how all Pixar movies can have different effects on different people because everybody might feel a certain way about certain things, and if you connect with Ratatouille, if you connect with the rat cook guy,
I like to cook too, whenever I used to be in culinary and all this in high school, and it was very fun, and I got a kick out of it. It was very fun to mix stuff together and create these amazing tasting foods.
You know, the one thing I will say about Ratatouille is the one thing that sticks with me, and it sticks with me all the time, is I'm always singing, or not always, but whenever I'm cooking, I always sing to myself the but I think that might be because of TikTok more than the actual movie.
So, number 3, Ratatouille.
All right, I'm going to go to my number 3.
I'm not going to do these top 10s anymore. I'm just going to get made fun of. I get bullied. Get bullied by one of my best friends.
It's just so funny. No, dude. No, Ratatouille, man. Chef Gusteau, you know.
I'm in this podcast.
I forget. What's his, anybody could be a chef? Is that what he says?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Great lesson. My number 3 is an all-time classic, Finding Nemo.
Finding, man, I've watched Finding Nemo too many times.
You don't have Finding Nemo on your list?
No.
Bro, you have Ratatouille on your list, but you don't have Finding Nemo. When's the last time you watched Finding Nemo?
To each their own. I don't know, like...
I will say, like, Finding Nemo is, like, burned into my brain because I've seen it so many times.
Exactly. I've gotten burnt out on it.
Yeah. I thought the same thing, and then I watched it this year, and this movie just, like, holds up so good, and, like, the adventure is so... Like, it's so great, and, like, all the characters are so great.
Okay.
It's fantastic, dude.
Crash is pretty cool.
His name's Crush. And he's like a 4,000-year-old turtle or whatever. I think he's like 150, dude. And still young. You got Squirt. You got, why are you laughing at Squirt? Remember, he's like, "You so totally rock, Squirt."
No, I remember.
I think it's getting a little late where we're they're on the EAC, man. You got Squirt. No, I think, dude, all the set pieces in this movie are sick. They fight sharks. They go fight like this in the deep where they got the light thing. The big, I don't know what it's called. What's the thing that has the dangly light on its head?
I knew
they fight a fish that dangles a light. And then they get swallowed by a whale. Dude, this movie is sick. Okay? This movie has some really cool set pieces. Everything that could happen happens to them. The lesson is amazing. Just let your kids do whatever they want to do. Don't parent at all.
The lesson is don't touch boats.
Don't touch boats. Do not touch the butt. Finding Nemo. 100% should be on. Dude, this movie's at 4.5 on Letterboxd for me. Almost perfect movie. Probably is a perfect movie, but there's more perfect movies for me.
Like I said, I've just seen it too many times.
Man.
And it's just like, it's burned into my brain, and like, I don't want it to be burned into my brain, but it is.
Dylan, what is your number 2 and number 1? I'm so curious. I have no idea what's coming. I have no idea. You are throwing curveball after curveball at me right now.
Number 2 is The Incredibles 2.
Okay. Explain.
I just liked it more. It was like a 13-year hiatus.
Yep.
From the first to the second.
Had a lot of hype, dude. A lot of hype.
And like, I feel like it definitely paid off. We finally got to see them fight the Mole Man. I thought the story was interesting about like the brother and sister hiring her so that way they could like get superheroes back in the world.
I'm trying to remember what this movie is about.
So it's the guy, he comes and he approaches them and he wants Elastigirl to be like the face of the new superhero movement to get him back in there.
Marketing.
And he's working with his sister who's like designing the gear and gadgets and stuff. And while he wants the superheroes back in the world, his sister doesn't, because their dad, their parents' house got robbed back in the day. And instead of calling the cops, he tried to call the superheroes using the superhero hotline, but the superheroes never showed up because Syndrome was taking them out at this point. And so as a result, their parents got murdered. And so he wants superheroes to come back and like be as glorious as they once were, and she wants superheroes to burn, and she's like using mind control to like,
and she was like acting like their friend at the start, and then she ends up being the villain. I remember that. See, I remember this movie being like cool. I remember like having like cool stuff in it.
I watched this movie once and I remember it. Like it's just like it's right in there.
I think Jen really loved this, or not really loved, but she really liked it.
The Elastigirl motorcycle, that whole like chasing
that was sick.
Was super cool.
That was
whenever
sick.
Like the motorcycle like
breaks apart,
and like she's still like riding because she stretches with it.
Yeah,
super cool. Whenever they find out that Jack has powers and like he's fighting the raccoon.
What he fights the raccoon, dude. That part is great. I love that. That's my favorite part of the movie.
The house that they were living in, I thought it was super cool, and the fact that like
it was cool.
The like floorboard like could like break apart, and like it could like water could flow in. I just thought the whole thing was like super like interesting.
So you think it takes Incredibles and like amps it up a notch, like in a good way?
Yeah, like The Incredibles is fantastic. I could have put it up higher, but I made the list like literally 30 minutes before we...
No, it's okay. You don't have to defend your list.
So like, Incredibles is fantastic, amazing, love it. And then like Incredibles 2, it's just like, it builds upon that and makes everything better, in my opinion.
I might have to rewatch Incredibles 2, man. Because the first time I saw it, I was like, it's good.
Definitely don't watch it in a darkly lit theater because the hypnotizing thing causes
messes you up.
Dude, look, I mean, I don't have epilepsy, but whenever the theater's like dark like that and you just start throwing like stroby things at me, I'm covering my eyes because I start to get like really sick.
Are you scared that you're gonna get hypnotized?
No, I just like I start to feel like really nauseous and I start to get like really headaches. Well, like just I don't feel good, so like I have to like cover my eyes because I can't take that flashing stroby stuff. They had to put out a warning because like people were having seizures during the movie.
Yeah, like
I'm like, you probably should have thought that through, Disney, but
whatever. I mean, I feel like that's if you have epilepsy, like that sucks. You just probably can't watch most movies because all these big budget movies, they're all like flashing lights. And that's about it.
Well, I mean,
every Marvel movie, like you can't watch any of this.
Well, I mean, especially like I said with like really strobing stuff. Like I said, the hypnotizing scenes, like and like I said, it's a dark theater. That's the only bright thing in there. And then all of a sudden, like, it's normal, right? And then all of a sudden, it's like, bah, 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 like right in your face. It's like, gee, calm down, Disney. Like, you could have had us hypnotized some other way. Like,
that's how they get us, dude. That's how Disney got us all with Incredibles 2. They hypnotized all of us to go watch the rest of their movies. They hypnotized us to buy Disney Plus. That's what they did.
Dude, they better give us Incredibles 3. I want a trilogy.
I would be down for an Incredibles 3. I don't know what it would be about, but I'm sure they'd figure it out.
Hear me out. They take the family, age them up. So, like, the kids are, like, adults now with, like, their own family. And
I like it. Yeah, the kids didn't really age much from Incredibles 1 to Incredibles 2, huh?
But that's because it takes place, like, right after first Incredibles.
It's kind of weird.
I mean, it was, like, a 13-year... Time works differently.
For us,
Time works differently in the Pixar. It's 13 years for us. It was like 5 seconds for them. Man.
All right, you ready for my number 2?
Yeah, Coco.
So my number 2 and number 1 are like interchangeable. Like it depends on the day. My number 2 today is A Bug's Life.
I consider putting A Bug's Life on here.
This is the one where it's not the best Pixar movie. I acknowledge that.
It's not, but it's like a guilty pleasure type of thing.
Yeah, right? This is my like Pixar movie. Like I freaking love A Bug's Life.
I love it too.
Everything about this is my childhood. I watched this on repeat.
Say less, bestie.
Bro, I played I played the PS1 game like all the time. I don't know if you had the PS1 game, but it was sick and it was hard. Like when you have to fight Hopper, or when you have to fight whatever the crazy grasshopper is. You have to fight him hardest. There's a crazy grasshopper, and you have to fight him in the game, and it's really hard.
Hopper.
Hopper's the main guy. I don't know what the other guy's name is.
Sidekick number 2.
But this has a bunch of like great lines in it too. I know Kevin Spacey's like canceled these days, but he's kind of great as Hopper.
Oh my god, it is him, huh?
Yeah.
I haven't watched
the food, the grasshoppers eat the food, and the birds eat the grasshopper. Yeah, his brother in this is great. Yeah. I
haven't watched this movie in a long time, but like I remember like a majority of it. I love the fact that they like worked together to like fool the grasshoppers. So like they built the fake bird and all that, and then like,
you know what? I lied. This movie is when it first became like where they're teaching you a lesson, where it's about like sticking together, like up against your bullies. Like, don't let people tell you.
If you have a bully that's taking your lunch, you build a fake bird.
That's and you throw it at him, and then it catches fire, and you hire some circus freaks.
That's the lesson right there. And if somebody's messing with you, hire some circus people. Yep. They will not be messing with you anymore.
Yep. Bug's Life. It's amazing movie.
It's a good one.
Go check it out. Dylan, what's your number 1?
I had an existential crisis after watching it. It's Soul.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Soul's
not on my list.
I thoroughly enjoyed Soul.
Soul is a very good movie.
It's hard to put into words because
it's about a lot.
I'd be going through it, and it really just makes you think and puts things into perspective. Yeah.
Like, it's about life in like what's important kind of way. I think that this movie, like I said earlier, I already kind of mentioned it, like Soul, like its like themes and stuff are super deep and super impactful. I don't know how well it works as like a kids movie and stuff like that.
I feel like this was geared mainly towards teenagers.
This is geared towards adults. What are you talking about? This is geared towards us. This is geared towards 40-year-olds.
I felt like it was geared towards like teenagers and adults, but like not. I mean, kids could definitely go and watch it. It
has cool stuff. Like it has like the cat thing is funny. Whatever.
Yeah. But like, if you were an adult and you were taking a kid in to watch this, you are about to get messed up.
Yeah, the adult's gonna get more messed up than the kid's gonna be like, that was fun. You're gonna be like,
the kid's gonna be like, that was funny when the cat was doing that thing, right? And the parent's gonna be like, yeah, that was...
Parents would be like, I am rethinking my life.
That was fun.
Can you not talk to me for a little bit?
It's like, I'm going to go home and have a shower beer.
So what is it about Soul, man? Like, what is the thing that just hits you?
I mean, like I said, it's everything. I mean, the entire movie, and just not letting life pass you by and not appreciating the little things. Like I said, I'd be going through it. I'm not going to tell you what I'd be going through, but I'd be going through it. And when I watched this movie, man, I was crying in my room. Like, I had the door shut. I was watching it.
Did you just watch it this week, or had you already seen it?
No, I watched it like when it came out back in December. And I shut because I knew before I started, I was like, I'm probably gonna cry, and so like
gonna crush me.
I shut the door to my room. I watched it. I was crying afterwards, just sitting there like, what am I doing? Like
what am I doing? Yeah,
it makes you reevaluate things. Yeah,
it
makes you have a different perspective on things, and going forward, you try to think about some of the things in the movie and appreciating life and stuff, and It's just a good movie.
It's a great movie. I have it. I'm pretty sure I have it as a 4-star. Like I said, I think literally everything in Pixar up to my number 12 is a 4-star movie. And I'm pretty sure I put Onward like slightly lower. That's my number 13. And I put that at 3.5. But like that could be a 4-star movie.
A lot of the Pixar movies could be.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how good Pixar is in general.
But yeah, Soul
number 1. All right, Dylan, do you have any idea what mine is?
Coco.
You've only guessed it like 4 times. It's Coco, yeah. El Poco Loco, man. The music in this is just fantastic. I sing it on a daily. The lesson, fantastic. Follow your dreams. Don't worry about what other people tell you. But also family is really important.
Don't believe in rich people. They just lie and steal to get what they want.
Rich people suck.
Hate the rich is what.
Hate the rich. Yep.
That was what they were trying to tell us.
Dude, the ending whenever like he's singing to Coco and making her like remember everything, dude. I think that is like like out of all the things that Pixar makes you cry, I think that's like the number 1.
Yeah,
I think that's the best. That's the best cry in my opinion.
Such a good movie. I felt really bad whenever he was trying to explain to his family like why music was like
so important to him.
Yeah, and then they were just like crapping on him. They were just crapping on him the whole time, and then his abuela just straight up like broke his guitar.
Yeah, that was messed up.
And then she was just like, she showed no remorse. She broke it. And she's like, all right, let's go make some shoes. And I'm like, if you did that, I'm not talking to you for like a week.
Again,
like,
yeah.
not ever again. That's a little harsh. But like at least a week. Okay. That's no talking time. Okay.
Yeah.
Broke that guitar, broke his heart, broke his soul. Made him go join the dead for the night. I mean,
yeah, the whole like character design and like overall just like design of this is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I love. I think like the main character is kind of great as far as like main antagonists go, and like all these Pixar movies. He reminds me of like Luca and how Luca was, and just like this like optimistic.
Twice, but
he's just like this optimistic like little kid who just like wants to do bigger, greater things. The animation in this is like fantastic. Even whenever he's just like playing guitar, like he's
the
like,
animation,
you can see his
like
fingers.
All these Pixar movies is pretty incredible throughout the time. Like
whenever if you watch these chronologically, like the timeline is
better.
insane. Yeah,
like it just gets better each time, and it's like
Luca, the water. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Yeah.
But yeah, dude, Coco. I don't know what else to say. Like I said, like this is just a very relatable movie, just because like I'm like a I'm a white Mexican guy, and I just grew up like with this culture, and I just know this culture so well that like everything in it is very like I can connect to it very well, even if I don't like I don't celebrate Dia de los Muertos like or anything like that, but it's all just like very familiar to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so that alone like is very it kind of shows why you need inclusivity in like film and stuff like that, because it really does like it helps you out, man. Yeah, people should do that.
Well, I'm glad we're getting to a point where we're starting to see that more, because it's definitely important.
Yeah.
And it's about time that it gets recognized.
It's about time these white people stop being in movies.
I'm sure tired of them.
All right, Dylan, on that note, I think we should end it. This is a really long pod. We went an hour 40. We meant to go shorter, but hey,
it's almost 3 a.m.
You know, sometimes 3 a.m. on a Tuesday, right?
No, it's Monday.
But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up there. We have no idea what our episode is next week. I know we said we were gonna do Indy last week, but we changed our minds.
This was supposed to be our Indiana Jones, and then you're like,
I was like, Luca's coming out. We should do Pixar.
Yeah, I asked you. I was like, all right, you sure you want to do Indiana Jones? I was like, I don't know what we're going to talk about for 4 movies. We're just going to be the same thing. God, I love Indiana Jones. And then you're like, well, let's just do top 10 Pixar movies. And I was like, okay.
We'll get to Indy eventually. Maybe when the new Indiana Jones comes out, like next year or whatever, we'll do Indy. But yeah, that's going to do it for us. You can go follow us on At a Tuesday Pod everywhere. See you next week, Dill. Go get some sleep, buddy. Go get some sleep.
Boy, I'm tired.
Good night.
Good night, bud.